let me ask you, because I already like you and I like to keep it real here. Let me ask you let's cut the BS kind of question. Is it hard for you to evaluate wines when you have an emotional attachment to the people behind them? I mean, clearly, based on your backstory and the people involved with this, is that a struggle for you? Like, how do you I'm not like shooting the shit with you. I struggle with it heavily because I have this show, right?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with being like transparent as heck. You know my spiel.
Of course.
And so I pan wines here of people that I'm very friendly with. Now you're in a better spot because you're serving like by hand when you're in the trenches. You're putting wines on a list. I put myself in a precarious spot of like panning things. You don't have to do that for the most part, right?
I'll tell you, I'm a straight shooter, and I've been criticized to not to like the wines which other people like. I don't like the big Strachan Jamie style wines. Having said that, so we have a restaurant in San Francisco called RN74.
Okay.
And when we opened, I decided that we're not going to have any wines over 14% on the wine list. No Chardonnay or Pinot Noir only. No Chardonnay or Pinot Noir over 14%. That's it. And I was criticized and even written about in the Wall Street Journal by Letty T. And just people criticize me.
You took a razz.
Oh yeah.
You took some zinging.
But that's my thing. That wine is, that restaurant is dedicated to Burgundy style wines, and any Chardonnay Pinot Noir has to be in balance. So I of course couldn't put any Evening Land wines. I made a wine in 06 which was 14.2 in alcohol. I couldn't put that one in the wine. I did. So so for me to criticize a wine openly, I'll do it. Because that's the way it is. If I don't like it, I don't like it. For many years I tasted all the wines from the wine list blind. When the salesperson came, I said, just pour the wines in the glass and walk away. I'll taste it, evaluate it myself, and that's how I learned how to taste wine blind. So
it's a great move. So you hit on something that I wasn't super aware of. You said I made a wine that was 14.2. What? Tell me a little bit about you making wine. Were you assistant winemaker? Or you made wine?
I've been making wine under my own label Parr since 04 till 08, and then in 09 I have a new label coming out called Sandhi, and I'm making Chardonnay.
How are you spelling that?
Sandhi.
Sandhi.
And we made 600 cases in 09, and 2010 made 4,000 cases of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, high acid, mineral.
American wine.
From
where?
Santa Barbara County. So Bionacito, San Benedict, Rita's Crown.
So in 2009 vintage.
You'll get two wines. There'll be one entry-level Chardonnay, Santa Barbara County. There'll be two single vineyard. One is San Benedict, and one is the Evening Lands vineyard in Santa Rita Hills. They have a vineyard there.
Nice.
So I bought some grapes from them. And then in 2010, we'll have a lot more.
And we is who?
We and my business partner, Charles Banks.
Got it. You excited about this?
I don't like talking too much about it because I feel,
self-promotion-y.
Yeah,
you should hang out with me some more.
But no, but I love it. I love the wine business, and I love the.
And so in 09 you're making 600 cases, you said?
Yes.
And then in 2010 you're making 4,000.
I made 4,000, correct.
So what goes through the process of that? I mean, that's a big growth in quantity.
Well, I only had two wines in 09. And then in 2010, I said, let's have a real portfolio of wine. So I got some grapes from great vineyards, Bionacito, Sanford Benedict, Tally Rincon,
it's amazing
Rita's Crown, which is above Mount Carmel,
Salsa
Puerta. So, it's a good portfolio. All the wines are balanced.
Is that the part of the states that you are most fond of?
For me, the style of wine, because I think the style
because that
of wine
place has a bad reputation as being making wines that are way too bombastic, right? When I think about when I'm old and I'm like talking to some little wine kid when I'm 80, I'm like, let me tell you about the great Pinot Noir boom of the of Hollywood sideways, and I'll tell them stories about going and watching Ojai and ABC and all that whole Santa Rita Hills area, Steve Clifton, Brewer Clifton, Melville, all those wines got so big.
Yeah.
I mean, they felt like that when I think of that area. I used to love it, and then during the Pinot Noir invasion, I feel like everything there became like Pinot Noir with Syrah in it.
Well, that's why I'm going backwards. We have a wine this year, 2010, from San Rita. It's at 12.3.
Wow.
We have Bionacito.
That's wow.
And they are dark and concentrated and lots of fruit. So time will tell.
And paint the picture for everybody at home. How do you get that same color and structure, but you get the alcohol down to that level?
we just pick it, at optimum ripeness. It's not picked that much earlier. It's just... We don't let the grapes to raisinate. We don't.
How much earlier would you say again, we've got you here, so I'm going to educate.
So I picked Biennacito Pinot, for example,
Okay.
on September 4th.
And where did some of your counterparts that make Pinot from that area pick?
Well into October.
Well into October.
Yeah.
October 18th.
There's a lot of fruit probably still there. I don't know until last week.
I mean, this is what I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
that's when people are picking.
There's a
They're
lot.
wearing Halloween costumes and picking.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean,
you're picking at Labor Day parties.
Well, there's a lot. Again, I don't.
I don't feel like you're Raj. I don't feel like you're judging anybody. I think you're painting your picture. So you feel that by picking earlier, obviously, the wine hangs on the vineyard, raises it gets more sugar levels, creates alcohol, right? Yeah. So you feel like, for you in that part of the world, you feel like that very early September, depending on the growing season, of course. Can you see yourself ever picking before September?
We look for 100 days from flowering. And
is that kind of the formula for you?
And I think we got that, Biennacito was right around the late 90s, and most of the vineyards were all 100, 105 days. I think that's plenty. That's an old rule in Burgundy. And again, we're not making Burgundy, but, I take my cues from...
tradition.
From tradition. And,
are you concerned about people saying, "Oh, you're just a Francophile trying to make Burgundy in California"?
I'm open to criticism. I'm not the most liked person, and that's fine. I do what I do, and
you seem likable to me.
I don't like criticizing wine. I know what I like to make, the style of wine. It's only my second vintage for Sandhi, and I just want to make good balanced wine from California.
And why no more Parr label?
I don't want my name on the wine. It just seems like I don't have much of an ego, so.
So why did you put your name on it in the first place?
I'm only making 200 cases.
So it's more of the friends and family.
Yeah, it was a little kind of a hobby thing.
Sure.
And now we are, making some real wine. So.
And is this your ambition? I mean, do you want to do that full time?
Yeah, I will.
So you see it eventually.
Eventually, in 5-10 years, I'll be spending a lot of time in the vineyards, and I've been working on the floors since 1996, and it's amazing, and I'll keep doing it, but. At one point,
Yeah, it's just a different chapter of your life.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into the last wine. I'm going to let this sit in the glass, actually, since we got another glass. Bubbles. So everybody who watches this show knows I'm obsessed with bubbles. It is my category that I probably get the most enjoyment out of. You're the guest. I mean, you're used to it, but I'll turn it around on you. Went a little too fast. I got excited. So, what's your take on champagne and sparkling wine?
I love champagne. And I love to see that you have so many amazing...
Yeah, we're big on it.
I mean, amazing. There's stuff on the shelf there which you can't even get in restaurants. I mean...
We're hardcore.
You have, Cedric Bouchard sitting there. I'm like, what? You have,
We're intense about it.
No, it's amazing. This is one of my dear to my heart, Chateau Netai, a small grower producer making under 7,000 cases. This is the entry-level wine, the Cuvée Sanan, which is... 60 Chardonnay and 40% Pinot Noir. A young guy, Alexandre Taille, making the wine. Just amazing. They're in a small village which is not well known for the vineyards, but they overperform and make some of the most amazing wines. And a very, very, very low dosage, dry, but
very low, right?
Very, he's.
And this is $31 US.
Right.
Now we have a good price on it, but I mean, in general, is that? I always say one of the most fascinating things to me is that champagne is a category unlike any other category because the big bulk brands have done such a good job marketing that, to me it blows my mind that people will buy Clicquot or Moet over something like this.
Right.
Whereas in the wine world, those wines could, the Yellowtails and the Santa Margaritas and the Kendall Jacksons could never command the market presence a Clicquot or a Perrier-Jouet or a Moet have. It's really a unique category of wine in our world.
Yeah, I mean, Terry Teese...
who's the importer of this wine?
Who's the importer?
And an iconic importer bringing grower champagne to the U.S.
Oh, the one who changed the game. He changed the game, and really went out. These guys are so small; they have no marketing budgets. They might come into the U.S. once a year, maybe, and all the vineyards by hand. This is as artisanal as it gets.
Yeah, right. I mean, on the nose is just gigantic and so.
And also one more thing, they do a private cuvée for Michael Mina restaurants.
They do.
So we have our own label, which has
That's great.
Yeah, no, it's
good relationship.
Yeah, for many years now. So before they got really kind of famous. So
how did you first find them?
I tasted it in Paris, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And I just asked Terry, and I went there, and did some
So you
tasting.
knew that Terry was already bringing it in.
Yes, but in the beginning, I'm talking about this is in 02, 03.
Wow, very early on.
In 99, I was pouring Celos, Villemar by the glass. This is in 99, and I had a whole list of all the grower producers. So I try to go there and meet these guys.
And what's the top cuvee that these guys are making?
They make the Cuvée Fiacre,
right,
which is incredible.
And what kind of price range is that falling into?
I think that's like maybe $60.
Yeah, not too bad. They're very fair.
Yeah, and they only make like 7,000 cases total. That's like a drop.
That's what Clico. That's what they break. You know? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, great toasty and kind of lemon custard. Yeah.
I can't even spit it out.
Yeah, no, it's just delicious, round, creamy. I mean, I love it. And you like drinking at the perfect temperature, not cold, because it shouldn't be frozen. Champagne should be served at room temperature. Yeah.
I'm a big room temperature guy, and I agree with you. I mean, you could taste it.
Yeah.
You might as well. It's like the high school beer rule, right? I mean, if you're not going to taste it, let's go buy $6 bubbles.
Right.
So, when you taste wine, you make notes. Do you have an internal scoring system for yourself?
I follow the Michael Broadbent, the 5 stars.
Okay.
And then if the wine is young, for example, like this wine, I would give 4 stars and 1 in brackets. So it's going to get to its potential when it gets to 5 stars. But right now it's only showing. So every wine has a different day, and some wines are more inward, some days more outward, some way. So.
But when you take, whether it's mental or whether it's writing, you're doing a 5-star thing.
5-star thing always. I don't put points because it's too a 91 point wine, and you have another one 91 points. I mean, they could be whole different experiences, and also the potential is not caught in a number.
Yeah. So that's how you kind of go on that.
Yeah.
So, now we're wrapping this up. By the way, just for scoring purposes, because I know you need them, I'm going to go, God, I like this. I'm going to go 94 points on the Evening Land, and this to me is a 92-plus point sparkling wine at $31 is a joke, and if anything from this episode, 2 things you should remember. What kind of class act this guy is, and you should get his book. Mott linked that up on Amazon. Let's move the needle for him. Number 2, that in general the U.S. needs to learn much more about grower champagnes. If you're pigeonholed, if you don't think sparkling wine or champagne is phenomenal or you don't like it, you need to force yourself. I know I never tell you to do anything, but you need to taste some more stuff. Because in all likelihood, that bar mitzvah you went to or that sweet 16 or that wedding, you didn't have quality. And if you judged your wine drinking on just Franzia, in a box or Gallo in a 4-liter bottle, you probably wouldn't love wine either. So please explore, the grower champagnes and some of the higher quality. And I think when people hear nerdy champagne, grower champagne, they think big bucks. 31 Bones dismantles 80% of the $40 sparkling wine we have downstairs.
Absolutely.
So while we're just wrapping up this episode, just hanging out, what about, a couple things that, tell me what's the most interesting part of the world for you right now? What are you discovering a part of the world that you're tasting wine from? It doesn't have to be the nerdiest thing. It could be very personal. Maybe you never focused on Piedmont. Is there a place in the world that is spiking for you?
Yes. Beaujolais. I love it. I love it. I love it. 09 Beaujolais, buy as much as you can. Because there is no wine in the world. I taste a lot of wine. I travel a lot. There is no wine in the world right now, quality price for Beaujolais. I mean, you can sit and drink a whole bottle at 12% alcohol and feel fine about it.
So I just had Peter Wygant on the show, and we spent 10 minutes ripping on it. I'm obsessed with Beaujolais. Gamay is so underrated.
Yeah.
And you can get the top Morgon or Milanavon producers for $25, $30.
Yeah.
I mean, the top guys.
And the 09s are just coming in right now, so I'm going to back up the truck. And
so you think, and we talked to Peter about that, and he was excited about it. You think the 09 Beaujolais vintage is so spectacular, and given the price-quality ratio, it's a real opportunity for the consumer.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I haven't had any wine I've been tasting in wine region since 96, 97. I have never had any one wine which has blown me away, and every 09 I had, it just I can't believe it. I mean, it's just everything from Diochamps to Dessous to Lapierre, Foillard.
Lapierre's incredible.
I mean.
And what crew
Breton.
What crew speaks to you the most?
I love Morgon. I like Fleury for something more aromatic, a little more
Sure.
sensual. Morgon, Moulin I would, O9s I would age for at least 3-4 years because they have more tannin. Morgon is my favorite. Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm glad you said it. Okay, so now with the guests lately, I've been doing rapid fire, like some random questions. So, if you had one meal, desert island, one meal, what would it be?
One meal would be there's a restaurant in San Francisco called Zuni.
Zuni.
Yeah, Zuni
Not familiar
Cafe.
with it. Okay.
It's been there for over 30 years.
Super famous place.
Zuni chicken, very simple.
Yep.
A glass of Lapierre. I'm
And you're
happy.
set.
Yeah, simple.
That is the meal.
That's the meal.
There's only one.
That's only one. Yeah,
What is your favorite all-time television show?
Favorite all-time television show? Wow, I must say Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's the only, I don't watch TV much, but I've seen every episode of Seinfeld probably 5 times.
5 times each.
Yeah, I don't watch TV ever.
Right.
I'm a big Laker fan, so.
Are you a big Laker fan?
Basketball, but if Seinfeld's playing, I'm going straight there. So.
No kidding.
Yeah, I love it.
The Lakers are hosting a game. What's the one player in the league you want to see? You want to get a ticket because you love your Lakers. You go there. But if you went on a night to see another NBA player, who would it be?
Playing or not playing?
Playing.
Playing. Kobe Bryant.
Non-Laker.
Oh, non-Laker.
Who's the one? So your buddy calls you tomorrow and says,
okay.
"I can get you any game this year," and you're going to decide which game, not by your schedule, but by the opponent. What's the one player in the league you want to see?
Breaks my heart to say it. Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Because you loved him when he was a Laker.
I loved Shaq.
So you wanted to see the Boston Celtics game.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm there.
You were devastated when he was gone.
See, the green jersey drives me crazy.
Listen, I understand. Except it was a Jets jersey. We could use him. Maybe he could catch a touchdown. We could score. I like that. How about non-active player? Who'd be the one player you
Kareem.
Kareem.
I see.
Did you get to see him play?
No, so I played that. He's the one who really got me in Lakers. I'm not from LA. Never lived there, but it was Kareem. Just the way he played. Even now, I see him, sitting up. Because I sit right opposite side of the court, and he always sits. I always see him. His etiquette, his demeanor, class act.
He's a class act.
Yeah.
He is. All right, I like that. What is the best movie? The last best movie you saw?
The last best Inception.
Was it great?
I
haven't seen it yet.
It was
Mark,
crazy.
Did you see it?
It didn't get good reviews. I loved it. Blew me away.
I thought it did get good reviews, didn't it?
It did. No,
Yeah.
but it got slammed by a few people though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, some people other people were like, "This
Yeah,
is like the craziest." Loved it.
I loved it. I loved it.
What's the one gadget you can't live without?
My iPhone.
iPhone. Obsessed?
Obsessed means I need it all the time.
Take that out. What else do you use?
Take that out.
Do you have an iPad?
I don't have an iPad, no. Just my laptop. Nothing really, just...
So it's the phone and laptop.
It's just the phone. I need it because...
to live.
Just to kind of...
It's like oxygen
get through 18 restaurants.
Ma, you don't have a cell phone.
Nope.
You are an
Really?
amazing human being.
Wow.
Nobody calls me.
I would call you every day. I would.
I think the question
Sometimes
is
I call your
now.
home, because of that.
That's amazing.
All right, well, good, man. I really appreciate you being on the show. Every guest that gets to be on the show gets to ask the question of the day.
Okay.
So you get to ask them any question you want. It's a good focus group, maybe some random question, maybe something that's a big debate amongst you and your wine friends. One more last question. What's the one wine personality that you'd like to have a glass of wine with that you have not yet had a glass of wine with?
A glass of wine, somebody who I have not had a glass of wine. Wine personality. I probably will never be able to do it because I guess he's dead. They can't do that. So it has to be alive. One wine personality I've never. Wow. I met you, so that's pretty good. I don't know. I think I've been lucky to, see Michael Broadbent and Jancis Robinson and.
She's amazing.
And the likes. I can't imagine who else I would like to.
But if you think of it, go into the episode and leave a comment. I think they'd love that.
Okay.
If anything comes to you. All right, fire away. Any question?
Any question? Okay, here's a question. What do you think of wine service in restaurants in America? That's my question. What do you think the role of a sommelier? What's the experience?
Awesome. Raj, did a great job, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for classing up
Pleasure.
the show. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.